He's back. What's going on, YouTube? So this is going to be my post-fight reaction video to the Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia fight. And it is safe to say that Errol Spence is healthy. He looked great in the ring tonight. He did show some ring rust later in the fight, but he beat Danny Garcia by a unanimous decision. Kudos to Danny Garcia for putting up a great fight and just being an all-out warrior. As I said in my preview of the fight, Errol Spence is just on another level. Now, a lot of people were worried about Errol Spence Jr.'s health coming into this fight and thinking he wouldn't be the same. Even though Errol was saying he was good, the doctor said he was good, his trainer said he was good, his sparring partner said he was good, people still did not want to believe it, and they wanted to be their own doctors assessing his health. Well, we saw firsthand that Errol did return back to his old self. Now, my thoughts on the fight, I really liked how Errol used the jab early on, how he got that established, and you can even see Danny Garcia's eye just constantly swelling up throughout the fight. That jab affected Danny Garcia's timing, although he did land some big punches, which I also said was going to happen because at the level Danny Garcia is, he's going to land big punches on you, but he does not have enough power to knock Errol Spence Jr. down or out. He just doesn't. You know, we've seen him in there with elite fighters before. He puts up a tough fight, but he doesn't win, and then in addition to that, he doesn't knock them down or knock them out or anything. So, you know, he's just not at that elite level, in my opinion. But like I said, that's not taking anything away from him. That's just really talking about how good Errol Spence Jr. is. Like, Danny Garcia is still going to be in big fights in the future, and his career is not done by any means. But Errol Spence Jr. was the better man today. In addition to the jab, I like how Errol mixed things up with this fight. Something I also said prior to this fight in my fight prediction video was that I feel like he was going to listen to Derrick James a lot more in this fight, which he definitely did, because towards the later rounds, you heard Derrick James tell him in the corner, keep your hands up, don't play with him. That's why he's, you know, swinging at you after the bell, because you're playing with him. And he's letting him know that he still has some left in the tank to try to land a big punch on you. So, you know, later in the fight, when Errol knew he was up on the cards, I feel like he did get a little comfortable and start playing with Danny Garcia, which it worked in his favor, but I don't think he should have did that, because you can always get caught with a shot. So that's really my only criticism of the fight. You know, you expect ring rust, but I mean, he beat Danny Garcia by unanimous decision. So how much ring rust was there really, besides, you know, a couple rounds where it looked like he was taking off a little bit and letting Danny Garcia be more active than him. But, you know, in his mind, he probably knew he was up on the cards, but you never want to leave things to chance with the judges. Now, as far as what's next for Errol Spence, I mean, everybody wants to see Errol Spence Jr. versus Bud Crawford fight. I did watch a little bit of Sean Porter talking after the fight and saying that he was a mandatory for both Spence and Crawford, but he prefers to fight Crawford because people haven't seen that yet. And that is a fight I definitely want to see, Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter. Who knows if we get it or not. And I would not be opposed to seeing a Spence versus Porter rematch, but I would rather either one of two scenarios happen. Spence and Bud fight next year, or Bud and Porter fight. I don't want to see Spence and Porter again yet until we see some guys fight that have not fought yet. So who knows what's next for him. I know a lot of people want to fight Pacquiao. That's a big payday. But I honestly don't see Pacquiao fighting Errol Spence. I just don't think it's going to happen. But who knows? If he does, I have Errol smashing him. The only fight that I'm unsure of at welterweight is Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Because Terrence Crawford is he's elite. So he can do a lot of things and he can adjust in the ring. But Errol showed me a lot today that he can mix it up, which we know he could, but it had been a while since we saw him box and, do the bully style fighting that he normally does, where he's working the body on the inside. And we saw that he can take some punches, because Danny Garcia landed some great counter punches. He landed some great body shots, and Errol took the punches just fine. So it's safe to say that we can get this Bud fight next year, hopefully. Like, it does not need to be pushed off anymore. And I want to go to the fight, so that's why I want this fight to happen. But let me know what you all thought of the fight. What you all think of the judges' scorecards. I thought that they were pretty accurate in my opinion. I had the fight 9 rounds to 3. So the judges were close to that for the most part. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? No, I'm going to try to catch some of this post-fight conference that they have to see kind of what they're talking about. I know Errol already said he's going to chill until next summer. So I'm not sure if Terrence Crawford had anything to say, because he was at the fight. So I got to catch up on that. And then if it's anything entertaining, then I'll put out another video on that tomorrow, because it's already late here. I'm in the Eastern time zone here in Florida. Let's see, what time is it? It's 1 a.m. So yeah, I'm gonna get this video up for you all, and then let's see what all the gossip is after this fight. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one. Peace.